Good evening. Glad that you are watching your channel of choice on the news tonight. Tonight, Rift Valley Regional Coordinator George Natembea's illustrious career comes to an end as he now joins the world of politics.
Wakati wangu wa kubanduka kama Regional Commissioner wa Rift Valley umefika.
Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka finds himself in a tight corner as rebellion in his Ukambani backyard grows.
It must be understood, even by those seeking leadership, even in the country, that we will have to deal with Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and us.
And Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha says CBC classrooms to be ready in a few weeks' time.
We are doing extremely well. I'm being told that in this area, the county commissioner says 31 of them have already started.
And Wairimu is our sign language interpreter. Good evening, I'm Abubakar Abdullahi. Welcome to the broadcast. To our top story tonight, and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations has released a list of 8 wanted terror suspects and is appealing to members of the public to volunteer information that may lead to the arrest of the 8. DCI adds that the 8 are highly trained, armed and dangerous and have been dispatched into the country to commit terror attacks.
As the country reels from the shock of attacks in Lamu County allegedly perpetrated by members of the Al-Shabaab terror group, which have left more than 13 people dead in a span of 1 week, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations (DCI) is appealing to members of the public to share information with security agencies that could lead to the arrest of 8 miscreants who are on the loose. The DCI says the 8 are highly trained and ready to commit terror attacks in the country. Mohammed Ali Hussein is said to be part of a failed Al-Shabaab planned attack in 2018. The team had been deployed to carry out an attack using a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. The attack was foiled and 3 militants arrested at Marti area in Isiolo. However, Mohammed and his accomplice Ahmed Ali Mohammed, who is also on the DCI's radar, managed to escape and sneak to Somalia. Abdurrahman Hija alias Munubi, who hails from Nyeri County, was part of a criminal gang that was terrorizing residents in Nyeri town before escaping to Somalia. Munubi joined the Al-Shabaab in 2016, where he underwent training and fighting. Eric Njoroge Washira, alias Mohammed Njoroge, is a 31-year-old who hails from Nyeri County. Njoroge joined the Al-Shabaab in 2016. Prior to this, he was terrorizing the residents of Mukurweini and Karatina towns in Nyeri County. Peter Geshongo Njoroge, alias Mustafa, is also on the wanted list. The 34-year-old who hails from Kiamba in Kiambu County holds a bachelor's degree from Jomo Kenyatta University and sneaked to Somalia after he was released in 2020. He had been arrested in 2016 while attempting to join the Al-Shabaab. Mustafa ran to Somalia together with his girlfriend Miriam Hamisi from Bamburi in Mombasa. Others who are being sought by the DCI are Abdikadir Mohammed Abdikar and Mohamud Abdi Aiden alias Mohammed Yare. The two are believed to have helped the Al-Shabaab plan and execute the Dusit terror attack in January 2019. Kasim Musa Mwarusi, who hails from Ukunda, is believed to be involved in the radicalization of unsuspecting youth in Diani, Ukunda, and Likoni within Mombasa County. Mwangi Maina, TV47, Nairobi.
Moving on, the 6 people who died following a raid that happened in Mwerekoro at the border of Meru and Isiolo counties were today laid to rest at mass burial ceremony graced by a section of political leaders in the country. Speaking during the burial, the leaders who strongly criticized the attack called on the government to find a solution to the attacks in Tigania East Meru County.
Kufariji kwa njia za kuchanga hatuwezi kukubali ati watu wanakuja hovyo wanaingia pale wananchi wanaishi ambaye hawana silaha, wanapiga na bunduki, wanatoroka. Na polisi wanasema hata hiyo bunduki hawajui iko wapi.
Tunataka kujua Mheshimiwa Kinoti amepeana askari iende kiterrorize watu na bunduki na gari ya serikali ambayo hata sisi ni taxpayers. Kwani kuna Kenya ambaye ni mdogo kuliko Kenya mwingine?
Kwa sababu serikali wakati inahamisha hata mtu kama anatoka London, Washington, Rome, Paris, Moscow, kama anahamisha anafanya bereza, baadaye anatuma chief. Sisi inakuja watu 100 ya majambazi, anasema anahamisha wananchi.
Askari wanachukua wakora ya Wameru, wanakuja kuvamia mali, wanasema mtoke kwa area, alafu hiyo mali inaibiwa na hiyo wakora. Nadhani zaidi ya mbuzi 3,000 imeenda.
Hiyo kifo hatuungi mkono, tunasema poleni kila upande, kwa sababu bande ya Somali watu 3 wamekufa, bande ya Meru mimi nasikia watu 7 wamekufa. Tunalaani hiyo maneno, wale walitenda tunalaani.
Ningesihi administrative ya Meru County wajaribu kuweka chief na sub chief wa jamii wa Somali. Kama kuna matatizo, hiyo ndo structure sasa watu wanaweza fuata.
Let's get to some politics now, and Deputy President William Ruto has called on Kenyans to rally behind a presidential candidate with the interest of the country at heart and not those who are imposed on them by the state. David Mudhoka has the details.
Waswahili wanasema umoja ni nini?
After bringing his tour of his Rift Valley backyard to a close earlier this week, Deputy President William Ruto launched a fresh charm offensive on Wednesday, this time aimed at Nairobi residents. After making his first stop at Kamukunji, the second in command proceeded to Mathare, Embakasi North, Embakasi West and Embakasi Central, setting in motion a week-long series of rallies in the country's capital. With the rallies coming amid a heated race for State House, pitting the Deputy President and ODM boss Raila Odinga, Ruto used the platform to fire salvos at Odinga, whom he indirectly termed as a project imposed on the electorate by the state.
Kuna wale wanafikiria ya kwamba watatupanga ati na kibaraka wao ambaye atasimamia haki zao na mambo yao. Mimi nataka nieleze nikiwa Mathare, mwaka huu kwa mapenzi ya Mungu tunaunda serikali ya mahasla.
The DP also scoffed at Odinga's 6,000 shilling pledge to unemployed youth if elected president, saying that the country's young population needs more than just handouts.
Tunamwambia bwana kitendawili, vijana wa Kenya sio watu wa kupangwa na handouts. Hiyo ni madharau na hiyo ni matusi. Hawa wangwana wamesoma, wako na degree na diploma na certificate, wanataka kupangiwa ajira na wanataka kupangiwa biashara.
This as he pledged to inject billions into funds meant to support the youth and small businesses. At the same time, the DP promised to advance the government's housing agenda to slum areas in Eastlands in his quest to popularize his State House bid.
Wakati unaenda kwa debe, enda upige kura kwa mpango ambao utapatia mtoto wako kazi. Enda upige kura kwa mpango ambayo iko na pesa ya kuinua biashara yako. Enda upige kura kwa mpango ambayo itakupatia nafasi ya kununua chakula kwa bei nafuu.
UDA allied leaders in tow too drummed up support for the hustler movement, calling on Eastlands residents to rally behind it.
Wale wengine wanatudharau sisi watu wa biashara ndogo ndogo hapa chini. Tunataka tuwaambie mwaka huu tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 huyu hasa atakuwa state. Kila mtu anasema uchaguzi ujao ni katikati ya kitendawili na hasla. Mko kwa kitendawili au mko kwa hasara? Ile serikali tutachagua mwezi wa 8 itakuwa ya mheshimiwa rais wetu William Samoei Ruto.
The Hustler campaign is expected to face off Odinga's Azimio la Umoja movement ahead of the August 9 polls in a race that could arguably be the most heated in recent years.
Having wrapped up his series of rallies in Nairobi's Eastlands area, Deputy President William Ruto now sets his sights in other parts of the county as his 6-day charm offensive of the country's capital kicks off. David Mudhoka, TV47 at Embakasi West, Nairobi County.
Thank you, David Mudhoka, for that report. And still in politics, the struggle for Mount Kenya and Western Kenya votes is gaining momentum, with leading politicians crafting ways of supporting Raila presidency. Speaking while addressing the DAP Kenya party headquarters, Kanduni Member of Parliament Wafula Wamunyinyi took a swipe at DP William Ruto allies over the recent utterances made by Meru Senator Mithika Linturi.
As the clock ticks, the scramble for votes is gaining momentum in the Western and Mount Kenya regions between two presidential contenders, ODM boss Raila Odinga and Deputy President William Ruto. This as the Democratic Action Party of Kenya has advanced its levels of reaching out to the common mwananchi.
In fact, I'll go further and say, even in my constituency Tongaren, whoever wants to run on DAP ticket is welcome. We go for nomination with him or her, because that is the only way we'll instill democratic activity in our party.
I've made sure that we have availed enough resources for IEBC to conduct the enhanced voter registration, the second batch. So we will be going around ourselves to make sure that those who have identity cards also make sure that they have a voter's card.
We stressed the fact that under Azimio la Umoja, our agenda number 1 is to see the election of Raila Amolo Odinga as the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya.
Those opposed to Deputy President William Ruto taking a jab at him over the recent utterances made by Meru Senator Mithika Linturi, Kandui Member of Parliament Wafula Wamunyinyi faulting the DP for the late apologies on behalf of Mithika Linturi.
Deputy President mwenyewe alikuwako, kiongozi wa hiyo UDA, alikuwa hapo wakati wa hayo matamushi, na hakuna lolote alisema. He would have stopped him and his members there and then. Yale amesema baadaye ni afterthought, baada ya watu wengine katika Kenya kukondem, kusema hiyo haiwezi kubalika.
ODM boss Raila Odinga allies have rubbished claims that Raila cannot make inroads in the Mount Kenya region, adding that he is currently enjoying a warm reception because of the handshake deal.
Whether it's in Rift Valley, we will be in Rift Valley. Whether it's in Coast, we will be there. And we also have our teams there. We have 290 teams. So each and every constituency has a team. And we are happy because they are volunteers who have committed their time and resources to make sure that the presidency of Raila Odinga becomes a reality. And I have no doubt, some of us here, and quite a number of us here.
Meanwhile, Westlands Member of Parliament Tim Wanyonyi has praised the handshake deal between Raila and President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Nyinyi wa Kikuyu ni watu wa bidii sana. Nyinyi pahali penye muko, everything unaona ni opportunity. Kabisa. Yes. Wakati wengine wana.
The lawmaker spoke after meeting Kikuyu businesswomen in Nairobi to support his August 9th Nairobi gubernatorial bid. Paul Kirobi, TV47, Nairobi.
Well, still in politics, and ODM leader Raila Odinga has turned the heat on police officers, criticizing them for doing little amidst the spate of insecurity in the country. Vincent Karoki tells us more.
The burial of 6 people who were killed at the border of Meru and Isiolo last week in Meronkoro, Tigania West in Meru County, has been conducted today. In attendance were political leaders, residents, family and friends. Political leaders led by the ODM party leader Raila Odinga, Meru Governor Kiraito Murungi, among others, have condemned the perennial clashes in the area.
Hii kitendo ya mauaji ya hapa Tigania ilikuja kapiga wengine kwa Kenya kwa nabutua. Ni kitendo ya unyama ambaye imelaaniwa kila mahali. Ndio sababu mimi nimekuja. Mimi nimekuja kusema poleni sana. Poleni, poleni, poleni. Maisha ya binadamu ni muhimu zaidi.
Mimi ni mwanasheria. Kubeba bunduki hata usiitumie. Kuibeba tu ni makosa, unaweza kufungwa miaka 7. Ukiiba kuku, wizi wa mifugo, hata huyo una sheria special kwa penal code, unaweza kufungwa minimum 7 years. Kuwa mtu manda, you can be sentenced to death. These are very serious crimes. But ajabu ni kwamba tangu tupate uhuru, area hii hatujasikia hata kuna mwizi mmoja wa ng'ombe ambayo ameshikwa.
Odinga says the relevant security agencies should intervene to ensure the safety of Kenyans is prioritized by apprehending the culprits.
Hatuwezi kukubali ati watu wanakuja hovyo hovyo, wanaingia pale wananchi wanaishi ambaye hawana silaha, wanapiga na bunduki, wanatoroka. Na polisi wanasema hata hiyo bunduki hawajui iko wapi. Ni kazi ya polisi kutafuta hao watu.
The leaders have urged the Ministry of Lands to ensure that the land which is currently held by the military has been reclaimed back to the residents.
Tumepata pia hakikisho kutoka kwa president mwenyewe ya kwamba special team ya kupima mashamba itatumwa hapa. Hiyo special team, hiyo governor amesema yeye mwenyewe amehakikisha anataka iletwe hapa haraka kutoka Nairobi. Special team ikiwa na watu wengi ifanyiwe ile inaitwa RRI, iharakishwe ifanywe kwa haraka, na amesema yeye mwenyewe ndiye atakuja kupeana title hapa.
Unajua hapo mbeleni kulikuwa na sheria ambayo ilisema ya kwamba mifugo haiwezi kutembea kutoka kaunti moja kwenda ingine bila permit. Hiyo sheria iko mbele ya National Assembly, ilipelekwa 2016.
Ningetaka kuuliza County Assembly, muende leo wiki ijayo mupitishe resolution ya County Assembly. Amutaki ng'ombe, amutaki mbuzi, amutaki kondoo na hata ngamia na hata umbwa zao wakae nazo huko, si ndio? Mukipitisha hiyo resolution, polisi yote iko hapa leo, it will implement that.
The leaders have further called on the government to compensate the bereaved families.
Sababu sasa ngamia imepiwa marufuku, si ndio? Tukiona hapa assistant chief na chief mwenye area yeye ndio atabeba hiyo mzigo ama namna gani? Kuna gavana wetu, kuna CS Munya, kuna akina Mboro, kuna akina Kabeabea, kuna akina Motunga. Tunataka kutoka kesho tuwe tunawaona mko kwa room moja mkiongea kuhusu Mmeru. Mmeru ataisha. Kama ni kura mkuje muombe, tutawapea kulingana na maendeleo.
Vincent Karoki, TV47.
Elsewhere, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka is set to make a big political statement on Saturday. However, the planned Yatta meeting has been rubbished by 3 Ukambani governors who have claimed that Kalonzo has failed to represent the interest of the people of Ukambani for a very long time. Joash Onsare reports.
As the August general election date approaches fast, leaders from the Ukambani region have started plans to strategize on how best the region is going to be represented in the decision-making process at the high table in the next government. This plan is being hatched at a time when there are differences in the region. A section of leaders allied to Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka having announced that there will be a meeting on Saturday that will give the political direction of the region.
Our meeting on Saturday will be used to discuss the way forward for the community in regards to the political direction we shall take as we approach the general elections on 9th of August 2022.
At the same time, governors from Ukambani counties have poured cold water on Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka's planned Kamba leaders meeting scheduled for this weekend at his Yatta home in Machakos County.
Each one of us is important, and we have to sit down and talk about what is on the table for our people.
Siasa ya Kenya hatuwezi kuchaguliwa kiongozi. Ati Raila, Mheshimiwa Uhuru tukiwapatia heshima, ati nyinyi mkae Nairobi muamue siasa ya Machakos, siasa ya Kitui, siasa ya Makueni lazima ifanywe kwa njia fulani. Hatutakubali.
Governors Alfred Mutu of Machakos, Kivutha Kibwana of Makueni, alongside their Kitui counterpart Charity Ngelo, termed the meeting as a New Year party and not political leaders meeting.
Mkutano unaoitwa kwa nyumba ya mtu, that is not a political meeting of leaders. Hiyo ni New Year's party. Ni watu wanasherehekea mwaka mpya. Si ndio? Kwa hivyo sisi hatushiriki na mambo ya people's party, ya kusherehekea bash ya New Year's. Sisi tunataka a serious meeting.
So it's a false narrative. It only sells newspapers and a few WhatsApp pages, but it's just but a narrative, nothing else. Kalonzo still remains, and it must be understood, not just by the governor. It must be understood, even by those seeking leadership, even in the country, that we will have to deal with Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and us.
In what seems like the region's supremacy battle shaping up, the governors argue that the region's meeting can't be held in a person's home. Further, the governors claim that Kalonzo had failed in ensuring that the Kamba nation was developed and hence can't lead in negotiating for the region's development.
We are negotiating for development, and secondarily also for those positions, but not just for positions.
There have been reports that the Wiper leader could quit the presidency race to support ODM leader Raila Odinga in Azimio la Umoja. Reports Kalonzo's camp has refuted. MPs siding with Kalonzo saying the Saturday meeting must happen.
I've seen the rumors circulating that either the party leader of Wiper is going to quit the presidential race or is going to join Azimio. Those sort of things are not part and parcel of why we have called for that meeting and why we are going to meet.
Mimi nataka nimwambie Governor Mutua na Governor Kivutha, tunawapenda sana nyinyi watoto wa Ukambani, lakini hiyo madharau na kiburi mko nayo, tunajua mmemaliza your terms. Nyinyi mshaisha, endeni nyumbani. Kama mnataka nafasi za kazi, Kalonzo akikuwa president, kila mmoja wenu atapewa kazi, na munyamaze na muache shebebe.
Joash Onsare, TV 47.
Moving on, Rift Valley Regional Coordinator George Natembeya has today announced his resignation as the region's coordinator with the aim of venturing into the politics of this year. Chichi Josephine reports from Nakuru.
Wakati wangu wa kubanduka kama Regional Commissioner wa Rift Valley umefika.
And with that, the illustrious career of George Natembeya as Rift Valley's regional coordinator came to an end. Ushering in a new chapter in his life, one that is too familiar with, as the man tasked with keeping wayward politicians in check, especially where matters security come up.
Ile kazi ambayo tumefanya hapa, upande moja wa Rift Valley, the South Rift and part of the North Rift iko sawa kabisa. Kwa upande wa Trans Nzoia, upande wa Singishu, upande wa Nandi, upande wa Kericho, upande wa Bomet, upande wa Narok, upande wa Kajiado. Hizo counties siko sawa kabisa. hakuna malalamishi, hakuna utovu wa usalama, wananchi wanakaa vizuri.
Keen on beating the deadlines set by the Constitution for public servants wishing to vie for elective positions, Natembeya officially resigned and now joins the race for Trans Nzoia County gubernatorial position.
Kwa hivyo mimi natoa uniform leo, sitawahi kuvaa nguo tena, unless under very extraordinary circumstances in the future. Mimi sitavaa nguo tena, naitoa. Nitaenda leave kidogo, nipumzike, nikijitayarisha kwenda kule Trans Nzoia kuitikia mwito wananchi wa Trans Nzoia kwamba wangependa wahudumie kama governor wa huko, mwito ambao nimeitikia.
Natembeya now plans to officially hand over the reins of power next week, further saying he was proud of the fruits of his service as a public servant, as he thanked the Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i and others for their counsel.
Kutakuwa na mwenzangu ambaye atakuja the course of this week ama next week to hand over, na ningependa kwanza kuchukua nafasi hii kwa heshima kubwa kabisa kumshukuru Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta, kwa kunipatia nafasi kuwa ofisa wake wa kuangalia masuala ya serikali kuu katika bonde la Ufa, na kwa ile support ambayo amenipa kwa ile miaka miwili na nusu ambayo nimekuwa hapa.
Journalists in Nakuru County were not left behind, as they were among those who came forward to wish Natembeya well in his endeavors. His political journey will not be a smooth one, however. Tiati Member of Parliament William Kamket has strongly opposed Natembeya's decision to venture into Trans Nzoia politics, saying he will campaign against him to ensure that he is not elected as the next Trans Nzoia governor.
I think I am happy that he's left the field to other more competent Kenyans. And I welcome him to the field of politics. I do not wish him to succeed. I will definitely go and campaign against him.
Chichi Josephine, TV47, Nakuru.
Well, George Natembeya's resignation has evoked mixed reactions, and in particular from Trans Nzoia County and its residents. Boniface Barasa tells us more.
Natembeya's political nemesis had for long dared him to resign, and finally the long-serving administrator has bowed to the pressure ahead of August general elections, when he will battle it out with other aspirants eyeing Trans Nzoia gubernatorial position. Natembeya's resignation comes barely 1 month before the February 9 deadline, when all public servants eyeing elective posts will be required to officially resign.
Kama wakaaji wa Trans Nzoia County, tuna furaha kubwa sana kwa Natembeya kuresign kama regional commissioner wa Rift Valley, na yeye ndiyo tumeamua kwamba atakuwa governor wetu.
Bwana George Natembeya hawezi kuwa governor wa Trans Nzoia County. Kitu cha kwanza, yeye ni mtu ambaye ni mgeni hapa Trans Nzoia. Ameletwa tu na watu. Naona Trans Nzoia bado wanakumbuka yale maneno ambao walifanywa 2013-2017.
As Trans Nzoia residents welcome his move, the Sabot community has asked Natembeya to honor the pact agreed earlier on for reserving the deputy governor position for the community.
Wakati tulikuwa na mkutano ya wazee kule Soy Club, akasema atafanya kazi na makabila zote, na pia wakati huo tukiwa Soy kwamba running mate yake atatoka kwa jamii ya Wasabot.
Amefront msichana wetu Milka Siwa kama deputy governor wake. Sisi tunashukuru sana. Hiyo combination Natembeya na Milka, hiyo kazi Trans Nzoia itafanyika.
Na kwa sasa tuko katika hali ya kumalizia negotiations zetu, na mimi niko tayari kufanya kazi na Mheshimiwa George Natembeya.
Natembeya's biggest assignment now will be how to swim in the murky waters of Kenyan politics in order to tackle his opponents, including Kiminini Member of Parliament and Ford Kenya Secretary General Dr. Chris Wamalwa, who enjoys massive support from Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula.
Ford Kenya huyu ndio candidate wetu. KANU wamesema huyu ndiye atakuwa kandidati wao. Sasa wale wanaobaki tutaonana na wao mundu.
Natembeya is also expected to battle Kakai Bissau, Abraham Singoe, and Philemon Samoe, who are close allies of Deputy President William Ruto. Natembeya, on the other hand, enjoys the backing of the Defense Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa and is likely to fly the DAP Kenya flag to vie for the posts. Boniface Barasa, TV47, Trans Nzoia County.
You are watching TV47.
Hello and welcome to TV47 Wildlife. I am your host, Sandra Wahito. And this show lets you see the beautiful wildlife varieties and nature we have in our magical country right from your couch.
Attention please. Please do not smoke in the terminal building. Smoking is only permitted in the specified smoking areas. Thank you.
As entities re-strategize, as you set your resolutions, as you plan for a great year ahead, we at Morning Cafe stay true to the call. We make sure that we get you ahead so you can always stay ahead.
Looking for ways to make cash this January? Well, look no further. The Grind is here to ensure you have all the information you need. We bring you exciting successful stories of various entrepreneurs.
A typical Kenyan want results. You know, their mind are result based. They want affordability and results.
And how they managed to make it in the business industry.
The beauty about the whole thing is, apart from the challenges, you experience the challenges. The moment you get a breakthrough in the challenges, you're good to go. Like you're learning every single day.
Join Violet Njoki every Monday at 7:30 p.m. on The Grind. In a world of stereotypes, we amplify their voices.
There is nothing abnormal about us. We are like any.
Welcome back to TV47 News Tonight. Thank you for staying with us. Let's get to matters education. And the Ministry of Education has assured learners that this year's candidates will sit their national examinations as scheduled, despite the cases of insecurity in some parts of the country. Our Education Affairs reporter Andrin Kilemi tells us more.
While inspecting the construction of CBC classrooms in Nyeri and Kirinyaga counties, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha has assured learners and all education stakeholders of safety during the national examination period, despite insecurity issues experienced in some parts of the country.
The security situation in Lamu is being very well addressed by my brother Fred Okengo Matiang'i and his team on the ground. You heard from Engineer Dr. Karanja Kibicho that they are normalizing very quickly. As far as examination is concerned, examination will be administered to all children.
The education boss further urged candidates to remain calm as the National Examination Committee had put into consideration all challenges experienced in the past year.
I want to wish the candidates who are going to take the exams in about 6 weeks all the very best, and to reiterate the fact that the examination is perhaps going to be the most friendly. They don't need to worry because we took into account all the considerations.
However, the government has asserted that doing away with boarding schools is not a solution to the increasing indiscipline cases in schools, adding that those caught misbehaving should be dealt with accordingly.
So perhaps rather than abolishing the boarding schools, we should get approved boarding schools which will deal with this kind of activity very firmly.
Further, Magoha has said that the construction of special classes is on course across the country, while expressing optimism that all classes will be complete by first week of March.
As far as the classroom for CBC project is concerned, we are doing extremely well. I'm being told that in this area, the county commissioner says 31 of them have already started. I told you that in Kilifi, 144, which is 100% had started. In Siaya, 100% had started. And even in KU North, 100% had started, including Nandi and Nandi South.
The Education CS is expected to commission the first complete CBC class Thursday in Siaya County. Andrin Kilemi, TV 47.
Elsewhere, a family at London in Narok County is in agony after their 14-year-old son went missing 4 weeks ago. According to the family of Sylvester Lomo and Millicent Okoth, their son Gabriel Anthony went missing on the 6th of December.
Tears of sorrow flow freely as the mother of four narrates the events leading to the disappearance of her son. According to the family, Anthony failed to return home from school on December 6th.
Tarehe 6 mtoto alienda shule, mimi nikaenda kazi. Kutoka kazi jioni, mama yake akania, hata ni watoto waliniambia Gabriel hajafika. Nikamwambia hajafika aje na anakujanga mapema. Ndio mama yake akaniambia kuna mtoto ameleta bag hapa. Ati Gabriel alitoka shule. Hata kitu saa 4 alitoka shule. Akasema ati mwalimu ndiye kumtuma.
The family has since been looking for him, reporting the matter both at London Police Station and Ilmashiriani Primary School to no success.
Ni wapi nitapata usaidizi juu mtoto amepotea shule, hajapotea kwa mkono yangu. Na huyu mtoto amerudishwa nyuma bila mimi kujua, kama wazazi wote hawakutuongelesha. Ndio huyo mtoto amepotea. Hakuna action yote kwa walimu. Mbinu yote ambao tutapata huyu mtoto hakuna.
They are now calling on anyone who knows of their son's whereabouts to report the matter to the nearest police station. Zainab Mohammed, T47.
Moving on, Interior Principal Secretary Karanja Kibicho has led the National Development Implementation Technical Committee on day 2 of the inspection of development projects in Mombasa, Kwale and Kilifi counties. Petronila Goren has the details.
The coast is expected to get a fresh look once these projects are complete. On day 2 of the inspection tour, Interior Principal Secretary Karanja Kibicho led a team of 10 first to the Ronald Ngala Utalii College, which is expected to spur a shift in dynamism in the marine and hospitality industry at the coast.
We are aware this is a flagship project that was started some time back, conceptualized in 2012. And is supposed to expand our training programs in the hospitality industry. At completion, this project is supposed to accommodate 1,000 students, and it has all the accompanying facilities for training in hospitality industry, paying special attention to the maritime sector. And we are here to just check and inspect the level of completion, because we have decided as government to do phased completion of this project. that we'll admit most likely early next year or late this year, the first batch of 250 students.
Earlier on, the institution faced backlash after claims of mismanagement of funds and stallment, but Kibicho has moved to assure Coast residents that all is well and the cost of the project has also gone down.
This was an 8 billion project then, so I would think after scaling down to the phase that we are inspecting, the cost was brought down to 4.9 billion.
Next on his agenda was the Mama Ngina Secondary School that is expected to ease the current congestion at the school, as noted by Principal Omar Mwanhamisi.
Mulivyoambiwa shule inataka kuhamishwa hapa, and it is our desire that hiyo ifanyike kwa haraka kwa sababu kule ambako tuko we are very congested. The school started as a 2-streamed na sasa tuko 5 streams. Almost 1,000 students, and therefore accommodation is really a big problem. Space is a big problem.
The team is expected to inspect other projects, including roads, and later team up to deliberate on the way forward at the end of the week. Mariam Wacharo, TV 47.
Elsewhere, property of unknown value has been destroyed in a fire that gutted down over 30 shops in Mumias town last night. Traders who are now counting losses say their effort to save their property was futile as they accused the fire department for failing to respond on time. Take a look.
Mama, Peter.
Mali ya wanabiashara imepotea sana. Hata mimi nikiwa ndani yao nalia. Vioski zimeungua. Oparanya hakuna kitu wenye wanatusaidia.
Nijaribu kuokoa vitu lakini ikatoroka na sijui vijana walitoroka nazo. Nijaribu kusukuma nje lakini imepotea yote. Sasa sina chochote ya kuanzia. Sasa sijui nitafunga mlango niende sababu kuchunga ng'ombe ama nitaanzia wapi.
Tulijaribu kuokoa zingine lakini hatukufaulu. Chache zikapona. Zikaungua zote. Hata hapo kwangu naona bado moto inawaka mpaka sasa.
Ni takriban ya maduka zaidi ya 30 ambayo mostly ni viosk ambayo zimeathirika. Na mingi ambazo zimeteketea mpaka chini zinaweza kuwa idadi ya kama 15, 16. Lakini haya maduka ya mbele mnapoyaona wingi wa vitu zimeungulia ndani.
Pesa yenye tulikuwa tunatoa kwa county government wakati wa kukata license tulikuwa tunaambiwa tulipe shilingi 2,000 ya fire. But sasa hiyo jana tangu moto ianze sikuona county government ikichukua hatia, isipokuwa gari ilitoka Bukas ndio ilikuja ikatusaidia. Gari ya kutoka kwa county Kakamega ilikuja afterwards saa 5 kama Mumias Sugar isatusaidia kuzima moto.
Kama sio hiyo fire engine ya Mumias Sugar Company, pengine hii tauni yote ingeshika moto.
Sisi tulipitisha katika county assembly kwamba tuwe na magari 4 ya moto, ingine iende 2 iende northern side of Kakamega na 2 ikuwe upande huu. Kwa hizo 4, 3 hazifanyi kazi, bado ziko under repair.
Hasara yenye nimepata, kuna jana mizigo nilikuwa nimeingiza hapo ndani kwa stoni. Mizigo 2 na hizo ni mizigo za watoto, za nguo za watoto, chakara. Na hiyo chakara ni 24,000 beli moja na zilikuwa beli 2. So hizo vitu ziliungulia pale kwa skola na hakuna kitu yenye ilitoka.
Elsewhere, the Kenya Power and Lighting Company earlier today released an update on power outage experienced in some parts of Nairobi. According to KPLC, the power supply company has identified the technical fault at the Suswa Embakasi high voltage transmission power line that tipped electricity power supply from 12:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. in Embakasi, Westlands, Kileleshwa, Kilimani, Soikimau and the Central Business District.
We do not want to consume that water suddenly. We want to spread it so that we can be getting generation, at least one plant in Orokaria, that is Orokaria 5, And one machine, the first machine is already running, which is doing 86 megawatts. It's only that because of the limited amount of water in the dam, the machines cannot run to full capacity. Yes. So these are the generators. You can see the so that's unit 1, unit 2. Then from there now it's going to pass the rest of the data. That is mechanical power. Yeah. So this small one supplies us at that's a big thing. Maybe more than 3,000. 450. Yes.
Well, from power outage, let's get to the world of sports now. Dennis Otieno is with us. Dennis, good evening. What do you have for us from the world of sports?
Good evening to you, to Abubakar Abdullahi. Now tonight, we will be telling you about the Kenyan football legends and what they intend to do in order to upgrade the state of football in the country. We shall also be telling you about the match pitting Tunisia against Mali that was marred by a lot of controversy. Now this and more coming up. And it's time for the sports news with me, Dennis Otieno. Now let's start off with matters football. Now, retired footballers and legends who represented the country before hanging their boots earlier today met at the Nairobi City Stadium as they deliberated on ways to upgrade the state of football in the country. The football legends who are preparing to take part in an international friendly match with Uganda next week noted that Kenya is full of untapped talent, which however remains disadvantaged due to bad leadership. Speaking to a section of the press after their training session, former Harambee Stars captain Musa Otieno stated that the ailing Kenyan football needs long-term strategies, which he says the former footballers have full knowledge on how to tackle. Musa Otieno's sentiments were echoed by former Harambee Stars midfielder James Utuma, who called on the next FKF president-elect to focus on the welfare of the players.
Played in Cameroon. It is a pity that we are watching the games in the TV sets, which I think we are supposed to be part of it. And again, we just need to talk of the structure. How can we help each other? But again, the most important thing for us, first of all, is to come together, go and play this game in Kampala, and then from there, some of the guys are going to remain behind, are going to be training, and see what we can do with the future of Kenyan football.
Kitu mimi nasema wenye watakuja pia on board, kitu moja weke into back in their mind, wajua kwamba things need to change for we need to have the long-term solution, not easy quick fix at the moment. Unaona, lazima kama na long-term solution. Na kitu moja wajue, mtu muhimu sana, key player kwa industry ya ball ni mchezaji.
Now, to some